Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're on the Tonya Hofmann TV show because it is fabulous. And we've got a fabulous guest here today. Yes, we've got a gentleman on again. Yay. I love having guys on the show. And he's cute. And let that smile, just love it. So Louis Soto is going to tell us all kinds of great things. Oh my gosh, his knowledge and expertise blows me away. And that's what you want to do, is reach out and connect to people to make something happen in your life. Don't wait anymore. Make the transformation happen. So we're going to have a lot of fun today on our show. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Louis, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tonya. I'm so happy to be here. Very excited to share my wisdom with the viewers.
I know Louis has been so busy. It's been hard to get him on my show. So we're excited that we're finally connected. So Louis is a transformational coach, and he's a brand new author of Awaken to the Brand New You.
Oh my God. Yes.
So I can't wait to read it. So tell me, Louis, how have you changed your world? What's your transformation been like?
My transformation, especially writing this book, has taken me 2 years. It's really allowed me to tap into my authentic self. And before I was able to share the message with the audience, I had to awaken to my brand new me, which means addressing my issues, being honest with myself, loving myself, forgiving myself for all my past mistakes, and then viewing the past from a place of love, forgiveness, and gratitude. And that's basically a big chunk of the book.
Wow. I mean, everyone should go through that transformation. I know I did, and I think it was the hardest thing, and maybe you've had to do this too, is really looking at yourself and being objective about yourself. You know, and being a little critical. And I was like, really? Why am I so afraid of so many things? I have got to get over these issues. Did you find out things like that for yourself?
I did, because I kept on repeating the same patterns. I kept on getting into the same situations. And the common denominator was Louis. Everyone else changed, you know, because we're in control of our destiny. We create the movie outside. And I got to really step back and ask myself, well, everything changes, but the same person stays there all the time, and it's always me. So finally, I had to love myself that much to say something has to change, and the only way something is going to change is if I take full responsibility for my life. That means whatever's not working, I'm responsible. Failed relationship, I'm responsible. Finances, I'm responsible, whatever it is. So I had to go from victim to being a warrior. And that's basically what Awaken to the Brand New You means. It means to finally love yourself, ask forgiveness for yourself in order to forgive what happened to you in the past, people, places, and things. And then you could start moving forward, setting a new intention, and start creating the life that you were born to live.
Love it. You know, I think that a lot of people, especially women, when you say warrior, turn yourself into a warrior, it's a little scary. You're like, oh, I don't want to be a warrior, you know, but it's not meaning, you know, grab a gun and a machete.
Exactly.
About tackling, you know, your issues. Isn't that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. That's a great point. When I say warrior, I mean a spiritual warrior. And a spiritual warrior, instead of running away from their addictions, running away from their issues, their demons, they face it head on, because it's happening inside of us. And every person has a body, and that body is a temple. And it's up to us to keep that temple sacred, pure, and clean. And if it gets contaminated, it's up to us to clean it, to flush it out. And that's basically us taking time to contemplate, reflect on who we have been, and then who we want to become. And Awaken to the Brand New You is about the process of becoming, because we're always changing, we're always evolving, and we're always transforming to another chapter, to another dimension in our new life.
Nice. Do you find too? I mean, one of my favorite quotes is, "Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself."
Wow.
And most people have
Beautiful.
never even thought about who are they actually creating. Every time you wake up, you're creating somebody that day.
Mm,
And
mm.
who is it that you're wanting to create? Instead of just trying to find who you are,
Yeah.
you can't find
Wow.
somebody that's out there because you're in here.
Exactly. That's a great point. In order for us to create a new reality, we have to become someone else. That means that the mind that got us in trouble is not the mind that's going to create the new reality. That's
Mm.
why we have to start a contemplative practice, meditation, yoga. Really give yourself an hour a day. Now, people must be thinking, Louis, I don't have an hour a day. I have kids, I have a family, I have a board meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning. Guess what? Everyone is busy. But if you don't take down the hour to really get in touch with who you are, address your issues, and set a new intention, nothing's going to change.
Right, right. So I know that you really change people's lives and you help them transform them, right? And I think
Yes.
it's more, I think I like the word transform
Mm,
because it shows kind of progression, right? You're going through a
mhm.
progression versus change is almost be like poof, you changed. And no, who does that? It's a
Exactly.
progression.
Yes.
So tell
Mhm.
us how you change the world now. How do you give us some tips and ideas how we can change our world?
In order for us to change our world, we have to change ourselves. So, whatever's not working in your life right now is about taking responsibility for what you have been doing that is not giving you the results that you're looking for, and then make a decision, set that intention, and start doing something new. Take on a meditation practice, mindfulness meditation. To meditate, it's not really that difficult. The most difficult part is to set the time that you're going to do it. When we meditate, it's about us getting centered, focusing on our breath. When the thoughts come up, you notice the thoughts and then you anchor back to your breath. The breath always brings you back to the present moment. If you get overwhelmed, you drop everything and then you start again. That's the process of being mindful. In the beginning, maybe give yourself permission to do 5 minutes a day. And from the 5 minutes, that's going to continue to progress to 20 minutes. If you could do 20 to 30 minutes of mindfulness meditation, that is going to change your life because you are now starting to take responsibility for the things that come from the external and not let them reflect on how you feel inside. Because if you're centered, if you're happy, if you're poised inside, anything that happens in the outside will not affect you. And that's the beautiful thing about the meditations, that the meditation helps us to not react. It shuts down the fight and flight response and it opens up the relax and release and surrender to the present moment. So that's one of the biggest tip that I could give today for someone to start a practice. Go to a meditation center, Google meditation, start reading a book, learn how to meditate. Meditation is really big right now because it changes people's lives.
And you don't have, I think what a lot of people get really stuck is it's not like suddenly you have to, get a brand new outfit and sit on it, put your legs in a knot,
In a lower position, right?
yeah, upside down, and it's just stopping and
Yes.
taking that moment, no matter if it's, even at your desk, before you
Mhm.
even get started in the morning,
Exactly.
before you turn on the computer, just stop for a moment and close your eyes, so
Close.
make it easy for yourself.
Exactly. Before you start your practice, when you wake up in the morning, right, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, and instead of turning on the TV and listening to the drama that's happening in the world, say thank you. And then go into a place of gratitude. Maybe take 10 minutes of what you're grateful for. You're grateful for your health. You're grateful for your body that allows you to do all the activities, that allows you to go to work, make money, pay your bills, save, take care of the family. You got to be grateful. We got to be grateful that our heart is beating all the time. When our heart stops to beat, we're no longer in the game.
I
Sometimes we just like we lose thought. I was thinking about that just a couple of days ago. As long as your heart beats, you're still in the game. You still have an opportunity to change the world. So
yeah.
before you go into meditation, just take 10 minutes of gratitude and just start reflecting on everything that you're grateful for. That's going to shift your energy. You're going to feel so happy, and then you'll start the process of awakening to the brand new you.
I'm glad you said that because every day I stop and I go through kind of a checklist that I've been running through my head, and I add different things into it of what I was grateful for that evening. So that evening, I'm not the
Mm.
evening, but that evening I look at that day. What happened that day? I found I couldn't do it in the morning because I couldn't remember what I did the day before. But if I did it that evening, right before I went to bed, then the flood of emotions of, oh my gosh, it was so fabulous to meet so and so, oh my, all my clients, that I've got transportation, that I've got a house, that I've got, and you just go through all the things. Boy, did that really open up my mind
Mm,
to how amazing my life is and how much I do have versus focusing on what I don't have. Especially
exactly.
back then, I didn't have a lot.
Exactly. Yeah. One of my process of awakening to the brand new you, even though I'm a transformational life coach, I'm a personal trainer, yoga, Pilates, I'm still a human being. That means I go through challenges, I go through the same issues that everyone goes through.
Wait a moment. So you're a yoga person? Can
Yes.
you put yourself into those knots, those crazy positions?
No.
I've always wanted to do that, but I'm like, that looks so painful.
Yeah, you have to practice. You have to stretch out your ligaments and tendons for that. But uh, so I had to deal with an issue of emotional eating. Okay, and that's all that came all from the past. A lot of people emotionally eat. You're bored, you eat. You get depressed, you eat.
Where's the chocolate?
Where's the chocolate, right? And what happens is that we start focusing on the things that are not working instead of being grateful for the things that do work. And the way that I got myself back into shape, I will look at my body in the mirror and I will tell my body, I surrender. I'm sorry that I wasn't listening to you. I need your help. How can we turn this around? And it's incredible because it's a mind, body, and spirit connection. If somebody wants to lose weight and they've done everything in the book and it's not working out, they're not connected to their body. The body knows how to heal itself. So
Right.
when there's disease, it's because we're not in sync with our body, and our body is our temple. And trust me, the body will be so happy when you finally surrender and allow it to tell you intuitively what it needs. Easy.
Nice. So, do you find that what do you find is the hardest thing for people to stop doing in order to really, and it's usually in the mind, right? To
Exactly.
shift that. How do you find, what it usually causes people to go, okay, I'm ready for this?
I think you got to get to the point that you say, enough already. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I mean, how many times are you going to just smash your head on the same cement wall? How
Right.
many times? We got to come to the point of saying enough already. Doesn't mean rock bottom, but it means that you keep on doing the same things over and over, wishing for a different outcome. That's insanity. But
I
it happens to all of us. And when you get to that point, that's when you have to surrender. You got to surrender to yourself, and you got to forgive yourself. That's the number one. If you don't forgive yourself, there's not no change is going to happen. Then
ex-
after that, you have to set a new intention and say, I want something different. That means you got to take on new activities. So in order to experience something new, if you do the same thing, nothing's going to change. But
yeah.
you got to come to that place of frustration that nothing is changing, that you just have to surrender. And when you surrender, the beautiful thing about surrendering in that moment, you're able to tap into the present moment. Isn't that
Love
interesting?
it. I love it. You know, mine was like that boing on the top of the head, right? When I was, going to my very first networking group in 2005. And I saw all these fabulous people. They're all hugging each other. They all look so happy and so supportive of each other.
Mm,
And I was terrified.
wow.
And then they're like, everyone's got to do their elevator pitch. I'm like, what's that? And then they're like, oh, you just stand up and tell people what you do. And I couldn't do it. I stood up, and people have a hard time believing that this was the way I
No,
was.
Tanya. Are you serious?
No, I'm such an
Wow.
introvert. So
Wow.
I stood up and I was like, shaking, everything's shaking. I was like, hi, I couldn't remember my name. And
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know who I am. And it was horrible. And I'm like, all right, I am, I was like 38, 39 back then. I have got to get over this issue, because how
Wow.
can I go and change lives and really help them? Because that's what
Exactly.
business is, right? We want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
How can I help them if I can't even get over my own issue?
Wow. That's
So
huge.
it was a big wake up for me. I'm like, but doesn't mean it was easy. It's like, I
Exactly.
still got to get over this.
And the best way to get over it is by running towards fear, not running away from fear. So
Ex-
public speaking is something that everyone fears, right? They'd rather be dead than to speak, right?
right.
'Cause that's the number one fear, public speaking.
Yes.
It happens to all of us. But the thing that I tell people when I'm coaching them on giving presentations and building up their self-esteem is that when you get up and speak, understand that what you're going to say is going to be totally different from everyone else in that room, because we all matter, right? We all have intuition, we have experiences, we have wisdom. And when we speak from the heart, that means not trying to get it right. Don't write down your elevator speech or have it script out. Speak from your heart. You're going to tap into your passion. And then when you tap into your passion, you're going to light up, and people are going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe this person. You're going to touch people. You got to speak from the heart. Even if you're shaking, even if you're afraid, that's the only way that you're going to get used to fear, because fear will never leave. The only difference is that we're exercising that muscle of fear, that every time fear comes up, we're like, hey, fear's here, but we're friends.
Exactly. And I look at myself now, because I wrote down every single fear I had. It was a huge list. I wish I had kept it. And so in '05 and '06, I crossed off and I challenged myself to go through every single, and they were like, you know, fear of men in suits with ties. Ooh. So I
Wow.
saw a suit with a tie and these two beautiful blondes right next to him. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's someone I should not
Be-
approach. And I was like, okay, I'm going to say hi to him. He was
uh-huh.
nice. There's so many people, they're so nice. And that was the hardest thing for me to really get through to my noggin, is
Mm-hmm.
that the fears are not reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I started pushing through those fears, I started it was easier to get to the next one, because all the things I had in my head that was going to happen didn't happen.
Exactly.
And I think everyone needs to do two things for fears. You
Mm-hmm.
hire somebody like Louis to help you figure out, what are you afraid of, what's
Mm-hmm.
keeping you back, and help guide you and challenge you to do them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is to get out there and tackle your fear, whatever it
Wow.
is. Make yourself do it, because you'll find that it was never going to be as bad as you think it's going to be.
Wow, that's beautiful, Tanya. What I want to add to that is fear is really the unknown. Think about that. But when you start to meditate, meditation brings you back to the present moment, and also meditation allows you to live in the uncertainty.
Nice.
Because every time that we focus on our breath, we come back to the present moment. But between our thoughts and our breath lives the unknown.
Awesome. And I have a goal now every year, so that if I look at myself a year ago today, I
Hmm.
don't want to recognize that woman. I want to
Wow, that's beautiful.
stretch myself and push myself through those fears so
Wow,
hard,
that's
and
awesome.
because it leads you to opportunities you couldn't even imagine.
Mm.
If people thought, if they had told me back in '05 when I was shaking that I would be not only an international, globally sought after speaker,
Wow.
but owning a public speakers association, I would say you are crazy.
Tanya, that's awesome.
I mean, who
Wow.
could possibly believe? I would not have believed it. And that's what I want for each of you listening,
Mm,
is to stretch yourself so far that you're like, wow, I don't even recognize that person back there. I am so further along, and I'm so much more amazing, and
mm,
people, and I'm getting connected to amazing people like Louis
mm,
and like
mm,
me.
mm.
That is fun.
Wow, Tanya, that's a beautiful story. And it's true, look, me writing my book, I'm not an author, but I have a story to share. And I know that my story is going to help people to heal, to grow, to evolve, and to transform into their brand new you. Everyone has a story. And if you're ready to share your story, whether it be writing a book, whether it be starting a TV show, whatever it is, you just have to decide that you matter and that you have a gift and a talent that God has given you. And when you know that, then you start to nurture it and you'll start to connect to the right people to take you where you are supposed to go.
Love it. Love it. Now, I know you're giving away an amazing offer that everybody needs to take advantage of. Could you tell
Exactly.
us a little bit about what that is?
So the offer is anyone that visits my website, newlifeliving.org, go to the contact page, fill out a form, you will receive a 60-minute, powerful, thought provoking, transformative coaching session with me. We will do it over the phone or Skype. And in that hour, we will address your issues. We will go through a session of self discovery that you're going to meet your new self while you're still with the old self. So I'm going to take you to those right there into the middle. I'm going to take you into the future, but you're still going to be over here like, wow. So I'm going to teach you about the process of becoming. This is an incredible offer. Anyone that goes to my website, www.newlifeliving.org, whether you go 2 weeks from now, whether you go 6 months from now, a year from now, I will honor that because I'm here to help people awaken to the brand new you.
I mean, what a huge, fabulous offer. So, why would you take advantage of that? Newlifeliving.org,
Mm,
correct?
yes.
Perfect. I mean, it's easy to even find. So, thank you for being on today, Louis. I'm so excited that we finally got you on.
Wow, thank you, Tanya. This was really incredible. I mean, I feel so much gratitude right now. My heart is so happy. You know, yesterday when I was meditating, the voice that I heard inside was, I like myself, I respect myself, and I honor myself.
Nice. Nice. I like that. I mean,
Mm,
if you don't feel that way, if you're listening to this and you don't feel that way, give Louis a call. take him up on that offer,
Yes.
because you should feel that way. And believe me, it took me a while to get to my point to where I felt like I really like myself, because it
Yes.
was a big journey. So thank you, Louis, for being on. Thank you, everyone, for listening today. Listen to this over and over again, and all the other TV shows. They're all there for you to enjoy. Take advantage of every one of the offers. And obviously, you want Louis to come speak at your next event, because I know you're going to want to have him there. So if you're listening and you're doing an event soon, holler at him, holler at me. We are open to be a part of your life and really transform it to make it a huge success for you. So
Awesome.
thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you.
Louis.
Have
And
a
we
beautiful
will,
day.
right? And y'all see you soon. See you next
Okay.
time.